Let's head back over to the analysts and get some context on this. Here we are, guys. It's 9 o'clock. Things haven't turned out like in some races like we anticipated. Let's start with you, Krista. Biggest surprise so far tonight. What is it?
I think it's surprising that our front runner for senator has done so well. I think it's surprising that there appears to not going to be a runoff. We just checked the 9 o'clock vote in Dallas County. He's got 80% of the vote here.
Wow.
So hopefully, we're not going to be forced to expend our resources on a runoff as our opponents would like for us to do, and hopefully he's going to be able to take it all the way to the general election
in November. Bernadine?
Dade Phelan. I mean, I'm totally surprised because I thought that he would do better.
Let's go to these new numbers while you're talking here. This is with Dade Phelan, but yeah, I think we were all kind of surprised about these numbers. This is Dade Phelan's House seat in Southeast Texas. 50% of the vote in. David Covey is a challenger. He is backed by Dan Patrick, by Governor Greg Abbott. He's backed by Ken Paxton, the Attorney General here. This is the proxy war between that part of the party against Dade Phelan, who represents more of the traditionalists, some might say. This is going to a runoff, and Phelan is behind on this, Bernadine.
Well, as I say, that is very surprising because the thinking was that he would almost take it by 70%. And now it appears as if he's going into a runoff. So not only was he not able to, apparently, according to what we're watching now, not only was he not available to win it outright for himself, what does that say for those other candidates, those other incumbents?
And Bud, what does this say for that race? What does that say for the direction of the Republican Party of Texas right now?
Well, first of all, that is a very conservative district, a very conservative part of Texas. Some of these races that we're saying are surprises are races where the people voted the district, where the district is a very conservative district and the people have voted that way. I think that Phelan had the business leadership of Beaumont behind him, but more of the voters are in Orange County. It should not be a surprise when a conservative does well in that district, particularly when you had everyone from Donald Trump to Dan Patrick piling in against Dade Phelan. And what it does say, obviously, is that even if Phelan is able to survive the runoff, I don't know that the other House members will trust him to protect them as Speaker next year and choose him again as Speaker if he can't really protect himself in his own district. He'll have to show his strength in the runoff in order to be reelected as Speaker. Do you think, Wade?
Wade, that's a good point.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Everything happened just like I predicted tonight. I have not been. This race is closer than I expected it to be, but I don't think it's really a proxy war, this particular race.
You don't think so?
It's not, because Abbott has not endorsed Phelan, and it's not just about the impeachment. It's also about school vouchers, but it's also about property tax reform. And again, it's about Dade Phelan being Speaker and taking the arrows for the party and for the other members. So it's not really just a proxy war. And I don't think this means that the party's moving farther to the right. I think the party's already to the right. And it's just a question of the different nuances of the individual districts. We've seen that Governor Abbott's endorsement of both the incumbents and the challengers, for the most part, carries the day.
And it has tonight, yeah.
So far, at least up into the runoff.
Let's go to some new numbers we have here as well. A number of them coming in after the 9 o'clock hour here. This is House District 12, the race to replace Kay Granger. And Craig Goldman has slipped down below 50% against John O'Shea, and this means that Goldman is going into a runoff. 53% of the precincts reporting this was an open seat, the race to replace Kay Granger, and Goldman had the money, Bud. Goldman had the ads. Goldman, was widely considered the front runner. Does that surprise you?
In an anti-establishment voting year, he's perceived as the establishment. He still, doubles the nearest contender and will probably win a runoff easily with these kind of numbers. John O'Shea has been on a downhill slide the last few weeks of the campaign. He's been losing more endorsements to Clint Doris, who's finishing third in this race. So O'Shea is on a downward swing, and Goldman will probably come through in the runoff.
Bernadine?
Well, yes. And it also shows that while early voting does show a trend, it doesn't show the outcome. because he was so far up with the early voting numbers.
Yeah.
And I think too that he will win a runoff, but we still have what, 40-some% that is still out.
Yeah, 47% is still out.
Yeah,
that-
so
that-
he could pull up even more. But I think that in that race, it is a little early, that we should wait for those 40% votes come in. How far, who knows, but
a lot left to count there. We do want to go back to the biggest story of the 9 o'clock hour here. That's what we were just talking about. House District
Yeah.
21. This is in Southeast Texas, Beaumont, Port Arthur, Orange, Vidor, Jasper area. And with half of the total precincts reporting so far, Dade Phelan, it appears, will be forced into a runoff. He is behind the challenger, David Covey,